Hello, everyone. Welcome again to Basic Binges, part of Nom Talk Network. On this show, we review popular shows that are out right now while eating or drinking our favorite binge-worthy snacks and drinks. Don't forget to redeem those channel points. I'm your host, Jefferson. Right now, I am enjoying mango marshmallows and water. And may I introduce our host for today for the final episode, Kenji, Mikey, and Ren. Thank you all again for returning for the final episodes of this Saigono, the final episodes. Kenji, what are you snacking on?
Well, hello everybody. I am snacking on some donuts. Yay.
All right.
Yay.
Nice.
Uh and as always, because apparently I don't drink anything else, I have water and I don't apparently own any other cups because once again it's in my Gatewalker Saga
That mug just lives
D&D
there,
mug.
doesn't it?
I mean,
It's the
yeah,
only
it
mug
really
you
doesn't
need.
leave. Yeah, it really doesn't leave my room. I mean, I have another mug in my room, but it's sitting on top of the radiator, so that way I don't dry out my skin.
Got you.
But
Okay, okay.
Hey,
Next we have Mikey. Hey, Mikey, what do you have?
what's up, guys? I'm having some popcorn and another iced tea. So there you go.
All
Yep.
right. All right. And Ren.
I have coffee and a muffin.
Ooh, a muffin. Nice.
Yeah.
How's everyone doing right now in this I guess really dark and stormy night for a final Junji Ito podcast? It is
I'm cold.
pouring cats
I'm
and dogs
cold.
right now.
I'm thriving.
Thriving, yeah. I really like the ambiance of weather like this. I think California needs it every now and then.
And drought aside, California needs this.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Oh,
Today we are talking about the last two episodes of Junji Ito Maniac, Japanese Tales of the Macabre, with a little discussion at the end of the episodes, at the end of this show especially. So stay tuned. Episode 11 contains two stories: the back alley and the headless statue. The back alley story is the fifth chapter in volume 12 of the horror world of Junji Ito manga series called The Bully, and starts off with a dude named Ishida. He moves into a boarding house with someone named Mrs. Uchiyama and her daughter Shinobu, and it's next to an enclosed alley. As he goes to sleep, he hears children's voices out in the alley, and he climbs out and he tells them, he shouts at them to be quiet, but no one is there. And when he tells Shinobi this, she convinces him that it must have been an echo, and Ishida is confronted by a man who lived at that house before. And he says that the reason the alley is fenced off is that three children were murdered there. And then he finds an underground hatch where bodies were hidden. And yeah, there may or may not be ghosts in this house. How did everyone feel about this episode? Mikey, let's start with you.
I thought it was just okay. I didn't think it was that great.
Right.
It had potential, but I mean, like most of these episodes, I think this one kind of fell short. They all have like really promising stories, but I don't know, they just never really hit. I liked the little, I don't know if it was a twist or so, but like the twist of the girl being the
Yeah.
killer. Hmm, but also it wasn't that surprising. It was kind of like a weak twist, if you
It,
will. Yeah.
I kind
But
of, yeah.
yeah, you know. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was very disappointing, but I'm used to it by now from these episodes.
Right, right. For being part of a series of shorts, for being a part of series of a series of, how do I put this? It's part of The Bully. For
Hmm.
being a part of another series of stories, it feels complete enough. Like it feels like enough of a complete story. It's still open-ended, of course, but I mean, I got everything I needed out of it, I think. Kenji, how'd you feel about this one?
I would say that I definitely enjoyed this story. Like it's uh it's definitely creepy because like even I know like there's something definitely like off-putting about like it kind of also reminds me of like the reverse of like the idea of like I mean I don't know if I don't know if people are familiar with this actually knowing the people that are here they probably do when the Hiroshima bombings happened and when how the children when they were playing in the fields and in the alleys like the ones that were close enough to walls their shadows scarred the walls like it actually like they're like it's really creepy like they're kind of like they're just left there
Right.
and like and it's kind of that's what it kind of reminded me of originally when they were saying like the shadows kind of like of the children come out of the wall like that was like the image that I was thinking of was like I could totally see this same kind of I love this story because like I could totally see this being anywhere besides this alleyway too like this I feel like this is like one of those stories that it can like it still works no matter where you go and it doesn't matter like the location it can be Japan America you know
The
Mexico.
imagery did evoke that. I kind of see what
Yeah.
you mean. Yeah.
Yeah like I mean like but like I mean like in general like just like the way that the story kind of plays out I think it's very universally accessible I feel like there's
Sure.
like no like there's not a whole lot of like cultural like oh like a Japanese cultural thing like you know really at play it's just like it's a very much meat and potatoes kind of story and it's I feel like it's very yeah I think it's very accessible and I think it's very solid I really liked it yeah I would I will say like I kind of was hoping to see what would happen to her
Uh-huh.
once
Yeah. After the
like
fact, yeah.
yeah like I want to see the aftermath like I call me gross like because it's like Junji Ito so like you want to like you kind of want like that image that frame that single frame the single square in the comic that just stands out like Uzumaki there it's the girl with the thing in her face Gil it's the it's the red snapper with the legs and the shark you know with the
Right.
legs you know like there's like you know it's very specific or you know there's the guy who's like this is my hole in the wall you know like this is my you know like very there's very specific imagery so like I just really wish that we had that
Now that you pointed out, like this I would have loved to see this being set in like an American lower income neighborhood. How would that play out? Like I don't know if that like not that it's like a very like I guess evergreen template for a horror story. I wouldn't mind seeing like other writers like take this story and like run with it. Ryan, how'd you feel about this story at this point?
Eh,
Eh,
that's all
yeah.
right. I think it's probably because I've gone through too many horrors and stuff that it was not bad, but I wasn't taken with the story itself. Her
that's because
being
there
the
was no Liam
killer.
Neeson Sorry.
Her being the killer was it's fine. The children. I mean, like honestly, why would you stay in a house where you hear random voiceless children around? Like, I personally would never have stayed. I've learned that if you hear creepy children, you should probably leave. But I think at the end, like the ending of it, like Kenji said, it would have been interesting to see what happens after her dealing with basically the consequences of, you know, killing all those people, leaving their bodies there. Also, the guy was just on the floor. He's just there. Is he dead? Is he knocked out? What happened?
Yeah, they never explained that. Yeah.
They don't. That's
Um,
true. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Did they toss him over the fence like a handball because it's like you were okay, you didn't do anything bad to us. But you, lady, you're staying here with us.
Yeah.
I thought for sure she was at least gonna finish the job.
Did the
when she
mom
got
come
done.
back and was like, "Oh, where's my daughter and the boarding student?" Oops.
It's like, oh, sucks to be you.
I made dinner. He's not eating it. Like seriously, like he better pay the rent next month because like I am like wasting food. Like honestly,
Yeah. I did like the
Uh,
shadows though. The shadows were very cool.
The shadows.
But
yeah. The shadows were a great concept. Yeah, absolutely.
Although I think the death should have been more in tune with the shadows, like some sort of hot, fiery death caused the shadows or something. They just
Oh,
show up because of
Or maybe the shadows reaching out and taking her.
yeah. It was just a very plain way of killing people and burying them in like
I
a
wonder if the
grave.
shadows isn't exactly the aftermath of a death, but I think they're like they left the ghosts. It's probably the ghosts or whatever you want to call them leaving their footprint after the fact, after their death, maybe.
Like
That's how I see it
leaving
as like
leaving an imprint, basically.
yeah. That's probably them like trying to like reach out into our world, into our I guess into our another realm. I forgot what it's called.
Mhm.
Our realm of existence. There we go. To finish off how the story ends, Ishida does investigate and he finds a window hiding behind a bookshelf, and he climbs down into the alley and finds the bodies of the three children right there inside of a hatch. And um Shinobu climbs down to dispose of Ishida before the sun goes down, but the rope snaps, and yeah, the ghost probably I guess terrorized at least Shinobu by the end of it. Um, I wish I could say that I knew what the ending of this manga was, if there even is more to this, but I'm not familiar with this one. I don't know if any of you also are. I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
Wonder if she got a shadow. Maybe she got a shadow too if she got killed.
Oh yeah.
They're all
Yeah,
playing
that's true.
together.
That's a thought. That's a thought. Ren, how did you? Oh yeah, go ahead.
What was that thing that they got buried under? What was that, like a sewer grate or something? I don't know. What was that? What was that?
It was like
It's like a hatchet.
a hatchet. Yeah, it was like
Just
a.
a
It was like
hatch? Just
It looked
random.
like a
There was dirt
blockade.
under there.
Mm.
It looked like a maintenance hatch for like wires and stuff.
Right,
Mm.
right.
It didn't look that deep, honestly. So I'm like, how did you get all those bodies down there?
It was pretty
Yeah.
shallow. Yeah. Like I think I saw like I don't know, two bodies in there, at least two or three.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ren, how did you like or how was the voice acting in Spanish?
It was so far. The Spanish dub has not failed me.
Yeah.
It did keep me entertained to go through the episode. I would say so far it throughout this whole season, it has carried the emotions and the like if the character is feeling terror, you will hear it in the voice,
Right.
and it carries it. I think, and it doesn't feel. I feel like the voices don't sound out of place. Like sometimes in English, it sounds a little like odd. Like, doesn't seem to fit the situation. I felt that so far they've done really well with the voice acting, and that they read the room and stayed within like the atmosphere of the place.
Got you. Okay. And I'm assuming Kenji saw it in Japanese and Mikey in Japanese?
English.
English? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kenji, how did you dig it in Japanese?
I mean, it was very straightforward.
Yeah.
Same with the lady. I mean, it's one of the unfortunately they use like the same. You start recognizing the same voice actors after a while.
Right.
Kind of like how you could just recognize Steve Bloom in anything he fucking does, or Nolan North.
Voice is so distinct.
They're so distinct. So like when there's certain voices like when you hear them, it's kind of like it kind of starts getting a little stale after a while because you kind of wish man, I wish they would bring in a little more variety into this, but
Sure.
I get it, there's probably budget reasons and it's probably cheaper that way to hire multiple roles, but
Right.
they also were doing. I will say that the Shinobu's voice in the Japanese version was like the female voice actress that they got she wasn't. It was weird. She wasn't even really. It didn't seem like she was hiding that oh, I actually have like evil intentions, possibly like at
Ah,
all. So it was just like
okay.
Yeah.
you just kind of hear it, and it's just kind of like off putting. So at one point, you're just kind of like, yo, dude, like if you got killed, like that's on you, man. Like,
It was very wink wink nudge nudge, I'm a bad guy.
I would say that
yeah,
you get
Yeah.
that too in the Spanish stuff. Like you hear
Yeah.
it in the tone.
Yeah, I agree.
Mikey, did you hear that tone of voice in Shinobu in the dub?
Yeah, sounds like to me. I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
um, I feel like it's a little too on the nose, so I kind of ignore them. But I mean, it it is what it is.
Mhm.
You know.
Ooh, what if that like plays on the fact that the mother was blind to the whole fact that her child is a killer? 'Cause, I mean, her husband's gone. The dad's in there. Dirt.
Yeah.
He's dead.
I do wonder what the mom's role in this whole thing was, if she even
And she
has
just wants boarders. She just wants people to rent the room out, make some
right,
money.
right.
A husband wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
oh God, that was
Yeah.
so creepy. Jesus Christ,
What is?
Jesus Christ, your your girlfriend peeked in through the back, and it just looked like your door was just swinging open really slowly for no freaking reason.
She's
I
not
was just
here.
like, oh God,
Wait, no, she's not here though.
well, someone's home.
No one's here. What are you talking about? Dude, you're freaking me out now. Um, I will take care of that later.
Um,
Oh, I thought you were doing that on purpose. Like you had like a gift going or something.
No,
Mm,
no, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
mm.
it's not a bit.
It's not a
Jefferson, I know it's a bit. I know it's a bit. I know it's a
not a
bit.
bit. It's not a bit. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're stalling, Jefferson. Stop
Okay,
stalling.
anyways, my favorite performance of the night of these two episodes isn't here yet. We'll get there later. But anyways, next story, Headless Sculptures, the sixth story in what is called the Flesh-Colored Horror, and that was published back in July 1995. Story goes that Shimada and Rumi belong to the art club at school. Their teacher, Mr. Okabe, is a sculptor prepping for an exhibition for his work. And it's a bunch of headless statues.
Mhm.
The students agree to stay late to help, but when Rumi is teased about possibly posing nude for the teacher, she gets angry and leaves. At this point, sorry, how are we feeling right now? Kenji. Like, without touching the ending yet.
I mean, like, oh my God. I mean, like, even my high school had teachers that did stuff like this, and it's so, like, I mean, it's, it, it's weird. I'm not saying it's good, air quotes. It's good to know that scumbags come in all countries, come from all sorts of countries. I guess I don't know. Like, I guess I don't know if "good's" the right word, but it's like this isn't just an America problem,
Uh-huh.
I guess. But like, I mean, so like just like it was basically one of those things where it's like, oh God, so like already out the gate, I'm just really hoping for like horrible things for this teacher. I'm really hoping for horrible things for this teacher. Like that's all I can say. I just want
Right.
bad things to happen to this guy.
Luckily, in the next half of the story, he does get murdered because the next day she goes to Shimada to go. She goes to get Shimada to walk to school, but he says he's ill and won't be attending today. She gets to school and discovers that Mr. Okabe was murdered and decapitated. Kenji, what's that?
It did it again.
Did what again? Did
Uh,
what?
Oh, what is this last episode?
What are you
It's
talking
gonna
know,
keep
right?
doing it. I swear. There's
What are
like,
you talking about? Okay, anyways, Mr. Okabe was murdered. I'll take care of this later. Mr. Okabe was murdered and decapitated. When Shimada returns to school, he's wearing his winter uniform despite it being summer, and his face is covered with a surgical mask.
COVID.
Rumi asks whose body was found if it's not Okabe's and Shimada's. If it's not Okabe's, then Shimada offers to show her. All of Mr. Okabe's statues are missing except for one. Rumi notices that the room smells of something rotting. Shimada locks them in the room and removes the mask, showing he is heavily bleeding from the mouth. He pulls the cover over, and the statue is Mr. Okabe's head. Shimada now wants to replace Okabe's head with Rumi's. She tries to run and slaps Shimada when he reaches for her, but knocks his head off his body, revealing that he too is a statue. Eventually, she is chased down by a bunch of headless statues that are also looking for heads for themselves. Mikey, how'd you feel about this? This nightmare scenario that I don't know. I just thought it was, well, first off, I just thought it could have been animated better. But Mikey, how did you feel about this one?
Definitely could have been animated better, and the characters kind of bothered me. They were very, I mean, obviously typical like horror movie trope, like the dumb kids go in and they ignore all the signs and they just continue to go into the room where people were murdered earlier and stuff like that. But I don't know. It felt very, out of all of them, it felt like a very American kind of horror story.
Oh, sure.
Not so much specific to Japan, but I thought it was playing up on a lot of just normal horror tropes, I guess, really. But I mean,
right.
It felt like of all of the ones in this round of shorts, this one could have been the most translatable to like American movies or something.
You could
like
see
that.
this as being a movie on Shudder or something, like
something
a
like that. Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that
while you're waiting in line at Universal Studios Horror Nights.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would make a pretty good what do you call those mazes they have on Horror Nights? The terror.
The terror.
Yeah, something like
What's
that.
Actually, terror what?
This would
Terratran.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I will say that this would be a good one for sure. Like, fuck yeah.
As a live action movie, I would not mind seeing this one too. Yeah. It's very much a like I can see this also being like kind of like an Italian giallo slasher movie too, in a way.
I can see it for Spanish too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we had myths about that too. Like we're heavy on the whole like a doll or like something that appears soulless that could be possessed by something because it's empty.
Got you. Okay. I think the closest I can think of to this story is like a Twilight Zone episode. There's like a Twilight Zone episode with like a bunch of mannequins too, but this of course like took it to its horrific conclusion. Ren, what's up?
Nothing at all.
Okay. Anyways, back to the meat of the story. Ren, how did you feel about the way the story ended?
No, first off, how did she not realize the man was dead? Like, blood's coming out of his mouth, and like literally dead eyes. Like, if she had died, she had it coming at that point.
Right.
They all had it coming.
They all had it coming, but her in particular, like, why does this smell like rotting flesh? Like, what do you think? What do you think?
It's like the Evil Dead musical. What was that noise? You know what they say? If you hear a strange noise in the woods and if you hear a strange noise in the woods, you know what you do? You don't go to investigate by yourself and you don't bother your friends.
I'm kidding. There's an Evil Dead musical.
I didn't know there was a musical for that.
Oh my!
I've never seen. I keep
you don't hear that? That's very popular.
I've only seen the one with the recent one that came out.
Oh, dude, the music.
And not the original. I've never seen the originals.
It's a stage musical. So there's
you haven't seen the original Evil Dead trilogy?
No, and I've never seen the TV show that apparently they have.
Right.
Oh, Ash versus Evil Dead. Yeah.
I didn't see it yet. I
haven't seen either of those.
What?
So I only know the one that came out 2000 something.
You saw the one from 2013 with the girl.
Yeah, her.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, dude. No.
Ash. It's still Ash.
Her name is still Ash. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Arise. Arise looks fucking spooky. I'm down for it. The Evil Dead Arise. Yeah. That looks really good. Yeah. In general, like my only big takeaway in this was this headless statue was so close to being really good. So close. I thought the ending had a lot of great tension. I thought it had a lot of great scenery and imagery. If only it was just given
the love care it needed.
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
that and a bigger budget, and that's usually the same complaint that I have for most of these. It just needs also just make it black and white. Whatever the next one is, just make it black and white.
Or like
It would have just
I-
like hid the imperfections.
black
Yeah.
and white, and like those old TVs, the ones that are staticky.
No, just manga black and white.
Just
Actually,
manga.
I'm actually kind of with when like the weird shit happens on the screen.
Oh,
I'm
it
actually
starts to
for like
break out like static.
yeah, where like
glitch.
statics and
Yeah.
like a skipping to VHS
Right.
tape, because
Mhm.
we literally have a VHS motif supposedly happening with the opening,
Oh,
with
sure.
the ending,
Yeah.
The ending.
Good point.
and then
Very good point.
but we have like a weird reel. We have a reel switch in the middle of it, but a reel has nothing to do with TV. It's like
Yeah,
a kid.
yeah.
It's like a kid who was born in the late 2000s decided to like be like, this is how a TV works.
I saw the first two episodes of this on my old CRT right here, and yeah, right there, my old CRT, and it was
Mhm.
it seemed like something that would work. Like if they just went with the CRT VHS motif and just like actually carried it through, I think it would have given it its own identity, especially compared to the first adaptation.
Does that TV work, by the way?
Oh yeah, I
That's
use
such
it
an old
for
TV.
my retro stuff like PS2 and Wii.
Can you turn
and
it
my-
on right now?
Show us how it works.
Let me
Yeah,
see.
show us it works.
Yeah, sure, hold on.
Yeah.
You asshole! Stop changing your background.
What? Okay, fine. Hold on. Wait.
Oh,
Oh.
trying to figure a way
Right.
to get you to bust you on that, but there you go. There was one way.
Hold on. Wait, I'm looking for it. There it is. Okay.
Mhm.
Now,
Wait, that TV looks so much further back now.
no, you don't really have to turn it on. I was just trying to bust you on the thing. That's all.
No, but it does, I swear.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. That wasn't the point of what I said.
He was just trying to call you out.
Oh my god, why
You're
is it
fine,
rainbow?
Nico. That's why I was
my
late,
God.
Stephanie. That's why I was late. I just wanted to have some fun.
Why does it start like a rainbow?
Oh, that was just what's it called? Because when there's nothing on, it just has a rainbow. But then now it does. Yeah.
Weird.
Oh, I don't need to know what kind of things you watch on the tube.
Not on the CRT TV, no. Okay, back to the regular background. No, I'm kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Mikey, that was clever.
that was very well done, though. That
It
very
was,
well done.
though.
I was impressed.
Yeah, it was good.
There was nothing else at the end of that tape. At the end of that that background, there's. I was thinking about putting in a jump scare, but no.
Okay.
Yeah,
You just timed it
Kenji.
for an hour.
I need more prep time. Yeah, Mikey, that was clever. You got me. Anyway,
I was hoping you'd play along and see how long you take it to the end of the episode or what, but all right.
It kept going, so I'm like, is it forever?
It's just an endless 30-minute loop.
That's kind of the
I
thing
just
too,
felt bad.
because
Like, someone's just back there just every 25 minutes and being like,
it's kind of funny, 'cause, I was hoping that it wasn't a loop and that you'd had put more footage on there, and then after the third time, I'm like, oh god, it's a loop.
Dude, the reason why I tried it out was because I was looking at Zoom settings, and I saw wait, you can set a video as a background? Wait a minute.
And so you're like, I see my opportunity. I'm gonna
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah, very nice.
And all right, so these final two, the last episode and the last two stories, I thought one was better than the other. And it's obviously the one without Soichi. Hold on,
You don't like
Stephanie says, wait, what'd you say?
Yeah.
What happened?
I hate you
What?
so much, Jefferson. I was straight up about to call your phone.
Poor Stephanie.
I'm sorry, Stephanie, our producer. I'm sorry.
Traumatizing her.
it was well done, though. It was well done, I will say. Well done.
I
Yeah.
Hugh wants Mikey to tell a pun. We'll have Mikey tell a pun in 1 second. We're about to move on to the final episodes of final episode of the night. And let's see where to start. Obviously, we're gonna start off with the first story, but I just want to say straight up that I did actually really like Whispering Woman. I thought it was really well executed as a complete 10-minute story, and all the way to its like really dramatic ending. Whispering Woman is the 8th chapter of Ma no Kakera. Ma no Kakera. Mayumi suffers from a mental illness where she must be given specific instructions at all times as to what to do or say. If she's not given instructions, she will constantly ask what she should do. After several maids not being able to deal with her incessant questioning, Mitsu Ishida responds, and Mayumi's condition begins to show signs of improving through Mitsu Uchida, and her father becomes cautiously optimistic. Mitsu and Mayumi become inseparable, but Mitsu becomes very ill with bruises. Turns out she lives with a violent, abusive boyfriend named Aga. 2 weeks later, Mitsu is found violently murdered, with Aga the only suspect. Mayumi's father checks in with his daughter, who believes that Mitsu is still with her as she continues to take instructions from Mitsu. The dad thinks Mitsu is appearing in spirit. A few days later, Mayumi comes home soaked in blood, holding a knife. She tells her father that the blood belongs to Aga, and she killed him like Mitsu taught her. And it ends with someone who sounds like Mitsu whispering that she'll always be with her. I fucking loved this one. I'll get to that in a minute. Let's start off with Mikey and your pun, if you got one.
Well, I don't understand what the whole point of this entire short was, because I mean, she obviously looked dead tired. But aside from that, I thought it was pretty creepy. I mean, it was good. I liked the relationship that was between Mitsu and the girl. I thought I was gonna play a little bit more into like more mental health issues, but they didn't. I mean, you can't expect too much from these. They're not going to go too deep into it. So it's just a nice creepy horror movie with a ghost, and yeah, I think it worked out pretty well. I mean, of the 4 that we saw this time, I thought this one was the one that I liked the most. But yeah, it was pretty good.
Same, but that's also again a very what's it called, a not high bar. But even now, like thinking back, I'll put this on top 5 if I had to rank everything. I'll put this on top 5 on the Junji Ito adaptations here.
Yeah, but top 5?
Yeah, I'd say so. Somewhere. I didn't make a list yet.
It was the best of these 4, but
best of these 4 for sure. And yeah, I'd put it like, okay, if Layers of Fear and Hanging Balloon are like top 3, I'd put this at a 4 or 5. Yeah. Ren, how about you?
Like rate?
Oh no, in general, like what'd you think of this one?
I actually really liked it. It reminded me of a couple of like Victorian-based horrors that I've seen, where there is a young woman being taken care of by someone, and then sometimes that person, expires for whatever reason, illness, or was already dead to begin with, or in this case, a violent significant other. I did like how it was carried. It was rushed technically when you think about it, but it didn't feel rushed at the same time. The way they paced that their relationship was growing, and how the girl was able to function. But what I liked was how, as she grew, I wouldn't say grew up, but became more stable. What was her name? The lady again?
Mitsu. Yeah.
Mitsu slowly deteriorated. She slowly started to look worse and worse and worse. And like, of course, we're meant to get that is probably from her unstable home life, with the abusive boyfriend, but I'm
Yeah.
like, what is just the toll on not only the boyfriend, but because of the girl, both of them taking a toll on her, and that's a physical manifestation.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's just my take. I did like how it ended with. I mean, technically, the father got what he wanted. His daughter
Yeah.
became a stable citizen.
A strong, independent
Yeah.
woman, and probably a killer. Probably going to jail,
And
but
she
she's
killed one person, just one person. And
That-
if he was guilty,
He had it coming.
he had it
if
coming.
only she was wearing gloves, and she probably could have
Well,
gotten away with it.
Look,
He's
that
got money.
person ran into
He's
her
got money,
knife
it's fine.
10 times. She
The
ran
person
into,
ran
he
into the
ran
knife.
her knife. He ran into the knife 10
10
times.
times. He fell, obviously.
Kenji, how do you feel about this one? And your theory of running into a knife?
Well, here's the thing. I can only really make that joke about it because I made a mistake, and I thought the last episode that we were talking about was the last episode.
Whoa. You didn't watch
So
this
I,
one. Okay.
so I messed up, and I didn't watch it.
Okay.
So I'm just enjoying everybody's breakdown of it, and I'm going, yes, I agree. I couldn't agree more. I feel like Ben Affleck when Henry Cavill's just talking and talking and talking. Ben, how do you
Oh,
feel
and,
about
like,
that?
So
Hello,
my pun meant
darkness, my
nothing
old
to
friend.
you. My pun meant nothing to you. You didn't even see it. Trust me, she looked that tired. She did.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I pulled up the synopsis and
There
I
you
see like
Well, Kenji, you missed out on one of the better executed endings, I want to say, because the reasons why I loved this one so much was I loved the tension and the lighting in that final scene. There's the final scene with when we see Mayumi being possessed by Mitsu, taking on the killing of Aga. The way that scene plays out, I love the dynamic angles and the use of the red lighting and the red moon. I was like, whoa, where was all of this?
That's their
Where
budget
was-
right there.
What's that?
That's their budget.
That's where the budget was.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That where the
They
budget
handed-
where was
had
the-
that's why
had to
the mannequin episodes suck.
For real.
They had to end it on a high note, but
Yeah.
they didn't really end it on a high note.
No,
so-
they really didn't.
They
They
don't
didn't.
end on a high note. This should have been the high note. This should have been the final one because yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, you're right. Ren, that probably is where the budget for the
Yeah.
past 6 episodes went, because where was this creativity in the last one? Because in the last episodes, there's obviously no use of red in a black and white manga. So what made them decide, let's make the moon red, let's make the lighting red here? Like, where was this creativity before? And
Who was the director on this episode? Maybe someone it was a different.
I doubt it's
Director.
someone different. I'm about to
It's like,
Google it.
it's like how the one Star Wars the one Star Wars movie that's the best out of all of them is the one that George Lucas didn't touch. It's like the one that Junji Ito had nothing to do with.
Which one didn't he touch?
Empire Strikes Back. That was
Really?
directed by it was
Oh.
directed by Irving Kershner,
Oh.
Ah,
Mhm.
wait.
who used to be his old professor at USC.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Wait, so but he still at least like wrote it and
Yeah, but as far
Okay.
as far as directing is
Directing, he
concerned,
didn't do it. Yeah.
got
he
you,
didn't direct it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I guess I can see that. I'm about to look up who directed this. I should have done that before, but I didn't. But yeah, like everything about it. Okay, the other thing was I might have a slight bias because I do listen to a bunch of whispering ASMR, whether it be whispering while turning pages, whispering while tapping. Ren, what was it?
Was this an ASMR video?
Was it, yeah.
I don't-
Did it
I don't
tickle
know.
you
Whispering is an
the
ASMR thing. Yeah, yeah.
Well, kind of, but not really.
I was all on board for the English voice actor whispering, whoever voiced or whispered Mitsu. I was like, oh, I love this. I should have my headphones on. I really digged it, and as a person with ADHD, I kind of related to Mayumi and her, I guess, like her what it's not like an ADHD paralysis, but I can kind of relate to having
Well, she said she was obsessive compulsive, right? Is what it was.
it was indecisiveness is
Yeah,
what
she
was
couldn't
is
make
what
a
was
decision on her own. Like
yeah,
at
she
all.
can make a decision on her own. And I kind of like there's something to be said about like ADHD paralysis and how someone like me can just like shut down when there's like a decision to be made. And I was feeling for our victim here, victim protagonist. There we go, protagonist. I was feeling for her.
I mean, isn't everybody that's in a Junji Ito story basically just a victim, though? Ultimately,
A victim, yeah.
In
Well,
the end.
True.
Soichi is like a I don't know if he's a victim.
He was a victim in the last one.
Oh, true. Right.
As he
I mean,
should.
I would. The only
Yeah.
person who wins in all of these stories is Now. He's the only one that won. The one from the bully.
Oh, that's
Oh
right.
yeah.
Oh,
He's
wow.
the
Yeah,
the
he got
only
away
one
with
that
it.
Actually, he's the only one that technically got away with what he did.
Yeah.
He totally got away with it.
literally went to get milk, never came back.
Yep.
I mean, it's like,
Forgot who
I'm
that
guessing
was.
my dad. It's like my dad went to go get scratcher tickets, and I guess he won because that was 10 years ago. So
I wish these were all connected and like you could see like Now walking in the background of one of the other stories or something like that,
that'd be
carrying milk. You know, it's like, and then
Would
he
be
gets
awesome.
hit by a car or something,
That'd be
and then you're like,
cool.
oh, I guess he didn't get away with it.
Speaking of interconnectivity, I don't know if you guys saw the post-credit scenes of any of these, but again, the guy at the end of the credits is talking, and I got to the end and it did not amount to anything. I had no idea what that was. I want to find a compilation on YouTube of every post-credit scene with the guy stuck in a room and he's writing one piece of paper with blood and a bunch of insects pop up. I want to know what the fuck that was because it didn't really have a conclusion in these last two episodes. I don't know if you guys like heard it, but I got nothing.
It felt like it was like some of these episodes incomplete.
Probably. I guess they're waiting on a second.
I feel like it's a story that like maybe he was teasing like a story in the next set that he does,
Maybe.
you know, and then you watch that and you're like, oh, that's the guy from the epilogue, you know.
I feel like that was debunked a while ago, ever since a couple episodes just didn't allude to anything. And especially now with this being the final episode and not having anything to like look forward to, it didn't really like have
Well, I thought it meant like it was going to be like if it ever got a new season, they would tell that story or something like that. But
right. I mean, if there is another season, I don't know, make better choices. We'll talk about that later. Make better choices with your story choices. Anyways, we'll get to that in a second. The final story of the night of Junji Ito Maniac, the final episode that they decide to end this whole thing on, is our beloved favorite character Soichi and Soichi's beloved pet. The second chapter of New Voices in the Dark. The Tsuji family adopt a stray kitten that followed Sayuri home from school and names him Colin. Soichi's face is scratched by Colin when Sayuri slaps him, resulting in him falling on Colin. Soichi gets mad, and everyone is paying more attention to the cat than him, and casts a curse that manifests as a status crackle. Sayuri catches Soichi using a dead snake as a cat toy for Colin and warns that the snake's ghost will curse him, but discovers Colin chewing on the dead snake. Colin begins to catch and eat snakes and insects while scratching everything in the house. She even catches and eats an abomination with eyes all over its body. I don't know what that was. But I'd love to know what you guys thought of that. The family keep the cat indoors, and Soichi thinks the cat brought it back from hell as a gift. No one dares go near her as she emits a strange surge of electricity, electrocuting Soichi and forces the family to leave the house. Colin returns to her precious, lovable self, while Soichi is seriously injured and can't move.
he has that power.
I do not understand this character. I'll be honest now. I thought I knew. I thought I would find something eventually. Maybe I have to just actually read an actual Soichi story all the way through. But yeah, it's just an annoying piece of shit.
Wow.
I don't know what else to say, Mikey. Mikey,
Harsh.
There's my review. Already, it's a piece of shit. So there you go. Anyway.
Sucks. Return to sender.
Mike, do you have anything to
Oh
add?
man. Oh.
1
No.
star on Amazon.
Go with someone else. I'm coughing right now. Wow.
I am fascinated though. I'll say that.
Uh.
I annoying piece of shit, but I am fascinated on what his deal is. So if he ever does make a compilation manga or a full ass like longer story with Soichi, I'd still check it out and probably read it. But yeah, these little snippets of his life were kind of pointless for this entire 12 episode
Yeah.
I guess anthology series. We don't have enough context. We don't have enough context of Soichi anywhere. Like same thing with the Hikizuri family. For people like just checking into a Junji Ito anime, Soichi doesn't like he doesn't it's like we're just finding a character in the middle of an arc, and we weren't there to see the beginning of it, or especially now the end of it. Mikey, how'd you feel about Soichi's beloved pet?
So I thought this was one of the funnier ones, and
Okay.
that's the problem with it, is that the Suichi stories they're funny. They're kind of dark. They're dark comedies. They don't fit in with the rest of these. They're not gory excessively. They're not very spooky. They're not very scary. They're just like dark comedies, and they're funny. And this one was definitely the funnier of the ones with him, the two that he's in. But and I just felt myself thinking like, wow, this is how you end it. It's like you end it like with a joke, basically.
Yeah.
It started with a joke.
Well, there you go. I mean,
Right.
it ended with a joke, I guess. So I mean, that was the thing about this one, is like I just thought it was very funny, but that didn't it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have ended it with something like this. If you're gonna bring him back, maybe pay off the first episode that he was in, which they don't pay off at all. I liked the animation of the cat. I thought that was a very cool looking evil cat. I liked the little the spider thing that he brought back. I think it was just just what they said was basically a creature from hell or something.
Yeah.
I just took it for that. It was like, oh yeah, like obviously the cat is like possessed. It can maybe go to hell.
Wait, is Mikey frozen?
Yeah, he's frozen.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
No, it's a bit. It's a bit.
It's a bit?
I swear it's a
Oh,
bit.
no.
Okay?
Yeah, he's not
It's a bit.
Mikey, where'd you go? Just tuning in. This is the final episode of Junji Ito's Maniac by the Nom Talk Network. And we are talking about the last episode. And we have Soichi, and Soichi's cat brings in a hell abomination. Like, I don't know what it was. Ren, what did you think of this? Let's start off with the story of this, but also I also want to know your opinion on what the fuck that was that the cat brought in.
Something from Australia. That's where it's from.
Oh yeah, it has life bars.
Honestly, I don't know Soichi much. My introduction to him has literally been in this whole series.
Yeah.
I guess like Mikey was saying, it's supposed to be he's more comedic than scary or spooky or anything like that. I'm bad with comedy, so I didn't find him funny. It's not my type of humor. I like dark humor, don't get me wrong. My whole life's dark humor. But he wasn't it for me. I did like how they worked with the cat, but I'm partial to cats. I enjoy cats. Despite them being little demon spawns. I did enjoy how it started with this sweet little cat and then just progressively went to like evil child and then like back to sweet little cat, which I can say is 100% accurate
To your cat?
to any cat.
To any cat?
Cats are assholes.
They are literally sweet, and then they're actually assholes inside.
Yeah,
And then on the outside, they're actually really sweet.
I don't know why people are shocked when I say that I'm a dog person. I
I hate
I
dogs.
love Doshin.
I hate
Cats are
dogs.
assholes.
And any
If I had a
animal that
pig- If I
Actually,
had a
was
pig,
gonna
it would
say
be
any
a
animal
cat.
that has a cat? A what?
I would pick a cat over a dog, 100%.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. As far as I'm concerned, any animal that has hooks on its penis doesn't deserve to be a house pet. I'm sorry.
What on its penis?
Hooks.
What?
Cat penises have barbs.
They're
Whoa.
barbed.
Whoa.
That's
Go
why,
in,
and
and they don't come out.
that's
Wait.
why they scream.
What? Yo, I had no idea.
Oh man, so
There's
what's
one-
scarier?
there's
What's
one
scarier,
worse,
Jeff? Says
though.
this or the Junji Ito stuff?
I don't know.
No, ducks
wait.
are much worse. Ducks. Look up what ducks have.
Oh
That's
yeah.
much more terrifying.
You want me to look up a duck penis right now?
You might want to go incognito mode.
Incognito,
first,
maybe.
Yeah. But yes.
But
You want me to look up
maybe-
duck penis right now?
Maybe
No,
not
it's-
right now. but
maybe not right now.
later.
Later,
You did say
But
duck
Junji
though,
Ito,
right? That is what he said.
duck. Quack.
Specifically,
Okay.
a
I'll look
mallard.
it up. I'll look it up later.
They're
Our producer says please don't.
but
Was it?
I feel like if the episodes had been switched, I think it would have ended on a high note.
It would have. It really would have.
I mean, it was
I-
just like of Junji Ito's like creations that I visually have seen. Suichi's one of them, so I can understand why you saw him a fair amount in this series.
Yeah.
But I think that's also like playing on the idea that people who are watching this all know his work and are like newbies like me. I don't know anything. What I know is of like what I've seen but not read.
It does expect you to have some knowledge of Junji Ito's stories. I remember reading a comment saying that sure, the series is mid, but he was just happy that these characters are brought to life in animation. And I'm like, I guess that's something, but
I mean, it's one step more for horror anime in general, which is already scarce as it is.
about that, like even when we're like so flooded with shonen and slice of life anime, the few horror anime that we do have, which are probably like around at least the hundreds, are pretty fantastic, I want to say. What we have, like if we're gonna count the like a top 10 list of horror anime, I feel like I can like come up with some great ones. Like there's
Well, my next question is are we talking strictly horror, or are we talking horror action? Because
Like,
Junji Ito, yeah, just straight
Yeah.
horror. Yeah,
straight horror
right?
anime, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. 'cause
Monster.
I think straight
'cause-
horror,
'cause-
there's no combination of another.
yeah,
It's
because
just straight horror.
Yeah.
Like straight pure
Yeah.
horror, there's not that many.
Okay, fine.
There's
Okay,
some that are carried by another like genre, like there's action. Or
sure.
there's some
Like
slice
Attack on
of
Titan
life,
and stuff,
like there's some slice of that life elements in it that has a thriller vibe or like
Right.
a
Monster.
horror-ish-
I was about to put
monster-ish
Monster on that
thing.
list, but Monster's like a psychological thriller, and so is Death Note. That's a
Yeah,
fair.
that's-
Okay,
that's
I guess.
completely
I see
different.
what you mean. I see what you
Yeah.
mean. Okay. Then yeah,
Oh,
it is pretty
no.
scarce.
Oh, Mikey lost power. Apparently, the evil spirits of Junji Ito, according to our.
Oh
producer.
no!
no, it's
Oh no! He had a good director. I wanted to see what his director was going to be, because we're talking about, for the final talk, we're going to be picking a Junji Ito episode, Junji Ito story from Junji Ito Maniac, and picking a director to direct a live action adaptation of it. Are we 100% sure Mikey can't be here to talk about it? I'll put him on right here I'll call him right now on my phone,
Call
and we'll
him.
put the screen right there. Mikey,
Actually,
come back.
I'm actually okay with that, low key. Like, put him on the phone. Put
Yeah?
the some of my bitch on phone.
Okay. Hold on.
However,
before-
didn't
I
think
guess
while we're
while I-
waiting, but while we're waiting, I don't know if you know this, but apparently Fortnite had a tie-in with the Netflix series, and apparently for an event, one of the stages you could play on was floating heads. Because nothing says family fun like floating heads.
Are you serious?
Look it up, dude. Look up Junji Ito Fortnite, and it's just an entire stage of floating heads.
That's a very wholesome,
What? Oh, that's actually really fucking rad. I don't play Fortnite, but that's wow. That's
I don't
really
play Fortnite,
fucking rad.
but now they got Junji Ito and Goku. I'm interested.
I mean, I'm not, but I mean, because aren't these maps gonna like disappear eventually?
I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
no, yeah, it's an event thing. Well, same thing
It's
with
an
Goku.
event.
Same thing with Goku. The skin is only for a limited time. They're only licensed to sell it for a limited time.
That's so
Same with
fucking
every
lame.
every single skin that they've come out with. If it's tied into some sort of other IP, you will not be able to get it. I wish I almost got the Uncharted Nathan Drake one because I was like, that might be fun to play as Nathan Drake in Fortnite, but then I was like, I don't play Fortnite enough for me to drop the $10, so I
Justify,
decided
yeah.
not to.
Hold on, wait. So wait, if what you're saying is true, if I get like the Batman skin at the time of its release, can I still wear it after it's over? After the
Yeah.
Oh, you're
because
saying
you own it.
I own it. Okay. Got it.
It's
But they can't sell it anymore. Yeah.
Right. That's so lame. But I get it.
Like
Because
technically, Dead by Daylight, you can play as the Demigorgon
I remember this.
and all those characters if you bought them, but
Yep.
if you didn't buy them, then you now have
You
to
can't
play.
get them.
Yeah, basically the characters that you're playing have the same mechanics, except it looks completely different.
Right.
It's really
That
so
is-
so it's
I
lame.
remember that. I remember that story. Yeah. That kind of sucks that now gaming can be its own lost media now.
I mean, that's
I'm
why
looking
a
at-
PlayStation. That's why a PlayStation 4 with PT on it is worth thousands.
Yep.
Thousands.
Were we talking about that for a second ago?
Yeah, we were talking about it last. Yeah, we were talking about it last time.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, the last time I was here,
So only the map, only the floating balloon heads.
Is a map. Yeah.
You can't play as a skin.
Is Mike not picking up?
Oh, we still.
That's really cool. Okay, Fortnite. I see it. Oh wow, and right under it was the recommendation that Uzumaki is getting an adaptation from Adult Swim, and it's 3 years ago. It's about to be 4 years ago since the announcement of the Uzumaki adaptation.
You'll never see it.
I just got the okay that we can call Mikey.
It's basically Half-Life 3. We're never gonna get it.
Half-Life 3, okay.
We're never gonna get it.
I'm FaceTiming Mikey right now. How's everybody doing on the chat? Cue Ball. Shout out to Cue Ball for being a real one and staying with us all the
For
way.
real.
Oh, dude! By the way, Cue Ball. Last time,
There's Mikey.
after the stream was over.
Hi, Mikey.
Yeah, after the stream was over, he sent me a bunch of pictures of him from like when he was like a teenager and stuff. And dude, Cue Ball has some like epic rock and roll hair, dude. Like he looked legit when he was 19, dude. It was awesome.
He was not actually a Cue Ball.
No, he's not a Cue Ball. He makes my hair look like shit. Like I mean, it was really nice hair.
Mikey, just so that we don't bother you for the rest of the night because you're on low maintenance right now. Is your whole power out? Okay, I don't want to waste your phone battery.
Yeah, but we're still here, guys. Don't you be going anywhere.
We're still here for 10 more minutes of Junji Ito.
For now.
Who wants to go next? Oh yeah.
I mean, I really hate the fact that I ended up watching the wrong episode. It's like
you're good, dude.
Like
that means you have more Junji Ito. You have 40 more minutes of Junji Ito. No, 20 more minutes of Junji Ito. I really suck at time, guys. I'm sorry. I really suck with time.
Dude, you are the worst Asian ever. You suck at math.
I suck at math.
Seriously, this is why you are not doctor. This is why you bring dishonor. This is why you bring.
I suck at math, and my parents loved me.
Oh,
that's wild.
That's bullshit. This is clearly a fiction story. This is clearly a make-believe story. This is clearly a lie, Jefferson. Your parents love you. Bullshit. No.
Shout out to Mikey in the chat. Mikey is now in the chat. Hey.
Hey, hello, chat. I will say, like, I was thinking like Bully would have been. I was saying like if I ended up watching Bully, so I was saying like Bully. I think would have been really awesome to be directed by. He doesn't do horror very much, but he does a lot of like cerebral like shit, and like he will like find ways to put even more messages into what you're watching. And that's David Lynch. I
Wow.
think David
For
Lynch
Bully?
for Bully. I mean, it's something that I don't think that he would be like. Why? I don't know if I would feel comfortable with filming a mother beating her child like
I
that.
don't
I
do
don't,
adaptations
I
of these
don't do
Japanese cartoons.
adaptations.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, after Dune, he's already said he's never going to do an adaptation again.
No.
But yeah, like I mean, just like if he were to like, I feel like he would be able to do a really good job with like
He would.
that. Yeah, and the thing, and also the other one was the mannequin episode. Kind of reminded me of the Doctor Who like walking statues, the living statues bit. I don't know if you remember the angels.
The
like
angels. Yeah. The weeping angels.
the weeping angels. It kind of reminded me a little bit of the weeping angels a little bit.
Bless
But
you.
Sorry.
bless you. But I would definitely say like I would love to see that done. And first of all, I could totally see that completely revamped into something completely different because like I mean, I don't know if anyone's ever worked retail in a clothing store before. I don't know if you guys have ever closed it, but sometimes when you're just by yourself and there isn't a single sound and you're just walking around all these headless bodies, it's really creepy.
Ooh.
It's
I
really
mean,
creepy sometimes.
Twilight Zone already like showed me what that looked like. A bit of what that looked like. Of course, they all had, like...
Oh god, yeah.
But no, that's a good call, dude. Yeah, that would be really fucking awesome as a horror movie too.
And then the ending is like she gets saved by her boyfriend and she thinks everything is all right, but then when you see him go to the bathroom and he takes his shirt off, you see a line on the bottom of his neck and it shows that he's actually a mannequin, and then that's where it cuts to black. Roll credits.
Whoa.
No, but I like that. I like that.
Dude, okay.
You thought it was you'll just say, is she safe? Looks like you'll have to wait for the sequel.
Where's that from? I'm assuming that's a quote.
Oh,
don't
you'll
think
have to
it
wait
is.
for the sequel? No, it's something that we used to say all the time in high school. We used to be like, it's like, because it was like in high school, like to give you an idea, I went to high school during like the late aughts. There was that's when like a lot of the big sequel movies were starting to come out, like the Matrix movies or like the Matrix sequels had come out. So like that was like the big deal. So like everything was like revealing around like this sequel, and like so we just kept making jokes. We're like, but what happens now? We go, looks like you'll have to wait for the sequel. So we used to throw it in like every time we could. It's like, so what happens next? Like, you have to wait for the sequel. It's so like I mean, it's
David Lynch covering that movie. Okay. And then who was your other one for the mannequin?
Oh, the mannequin. I could see Eli Roth doing that one, but I could also see Sam Raimi doing that too, because Raimi is able to find a good balance of being very, very scary, but also finding like humor in the ridiculousness of the genre sometimes, like, which is why I mean, Drag Me to Hell, despite its ending and not being well received, is
It delivered.
It delivered so good. It did exactly what it said on the tin.
Yeah.
And it was so good. It was so good because of it.
Like, so, what did you expect to do? Not drag me to hell?
I mean, we were all
someone was gonna go.
Yeah, but but what about Ren? Like, what was your favorite one? And like, who would you like direct? Have them direct? Like, I want to know.
Let's go for. Want to go for Ren first, or do you want me to go first?
Well, no, because I mean, I've already said my fair share about my David Lynch stuff, but like, no, you're the host. You go last.
I go last. Okay. Ren, I have a feeling I know who you're gonna pick.
Yeah, because we talked about it last time.
Yeah, but now I'm curious what story you're gonna pair him with.
Okay, so my director, because I'm so basic like that, would be Guillermo del Toro.
Fuck yeah.
he's a funny because like he's funny in the sense that he's done horror, but he does others like other types of genre as well. And I think it's
Pinocchio!
mostly because the Pinocchio one. Oh, sorry, I really liked that. I hate Pinocchio, but his interpretation was that was the Pinocchio I needed in childhood.
Yep.
Not meant for children at all. No. I mean,
Well, I mean,
if you want to scare them, yeah.
yeah, there you go. Yeah. I
Uh,
thought it was at least a what's it called? Like at least on the level of scary stories to tell in the dark.
the Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Like Monster House level spooky, like Monster House level.
A little bit scary to the Monster House, but I still think it's still accessible for kids in a way, if that makes sense. But anyways, continue. That's
But it's accessible for kids, but like at the same time, it was like obviously for a older generation, not
Yeah.
older generation, but like people who know a little bit more about like history
Uh-huh.
because of like the things they touched on. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it's because I was on the kick of like watching Pinocchio and just finishing his anthology series. I would say I would pick the stupid ice cream truck episode.
oh my damn it.
Can you imagine? Oh, I'd love to see that. Or Whispering Woman.
God damn it.
What? Come on, you can see him doing that.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can.
Especially, I can see him doing it with the ice cream truck. He'd
Ooh.
find some way to do that.
Yeah,
way
making
more
a
grotesque
sinister
or more
sinister
yeah.
children's movie cautionary tale, yeah. Oh, I can see that. Yeah. Okay. Guillermo del Toro, our boy GDT on those. Okay.
Dude, he is. By the way, I actually got to interview him once. He is the chillest guy ever.
I'm not
Like,
jealous. What
so
was the
cool.
Oh my
what
god.
was
So
the
this was
occasion,
back.
dude?
You can't
The
just
two,
yeah,
the two. So again, I'm aging myself again with this. It was the 2009 VMA Awards. This was when they had first announced that
Oh, Hellboy
Guillermo
2.
del Toro. Oh, no, this was Hellboy 2. This was when Guillermo del Toro had just announced that he was going to start making video games with this other company. This was the video game that he was making before it got scrapped, and he started doing Silent Hills, and then that got scrapped.
Okay.
So he was making a horror game, and like I was interviewing people on the red carpet, and like a bunch of people were there, and of course, like everyone was like, and of course, like, and I just was like, hi, and I just waved him, and like walked up to me out of like the 30 people that were at that red carpet that were trying to interview him. He walked up to me to do one interview, and because of that, there was like my microphone and then like 20 other mics like around my head. But like he's like the coolest guy, like so excited to like he loves talking about his visions and his creations. Like when you see him talking about it, you can see like the gears turning. It's like a kid talking about a candy shop. It's so awesome.
One of my favorite videos of GDT was him like just fanboying over Ultraman shit. There's a video of him like just you saw this? Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's so cute.
Adorable. He's such a little nerd. Oh my god. I love it.
I'm so jealous. That's such a cool opportunity, dude. Wait, so 09 VMAs? Wait, where were you at that time?
Or no, VGAs. No, not VMAs. VGAs.
Ah.
The VGAs are. And I was going to Cal State Northridge at the time. I know that's and my roommate at the time was, I mean, he still runs the website, but he had his own website where we were basically reviewing video games and movies and stuff like that. So they invited us to the VGAs one year. So we were like, okay, let's go. And yeah, it was fun.
Dude, fucking sick. Fucking sick.
You can put that on your grave. I interviewed Guillermo del Toro.
Oh no, I don't know if I'll put that there. I mean, I actually don't know what I want to put as on my gravestone, but I know that my grandfather's is going to be Darth Vader as Luke's father. And that's because okay, so long joke. Basically on the way to go see the movie, when my dad was a kid, my grandfather spoils the ending and tells my dad that Darth Vader is Luke's father on the way to the movie theater to go see Empire Strikes Back from like like 80, 82, 83, like on the way to the
Why
movie
would
theater.
you do that?
Because he was like, according to my grandfather, he was like, well, they were talking about it on the radio. The movie had just come out. I don't think they would be like spoiling the movie like that on the radio
Whoa.
like that. So like, so everyone was like talking about it at school, and then my grandfather on the way to their movie theater goes, "Oh, I was hearing on the radio, but I don't know, maybe Darth Vader's Luke's father."
In an age without internet, of all
In an age without-
ways, of all the
So-
ways to be spoiled by an ending like, oh my
yeah,
god.
so like it's like that's why it's like that's gonna be his. I don't know what mine's gonna be. I still don't know what mine's gonna be. Clever, maybe it just says clever quote.
I feel like mine's gonna be like life costs way too much. Bye.
It's what?
Life costs way too much. Bye.
It's just a big giant mustache. There's no epitaph. It doesn't say quote. It's just a mustache, so it just looks like your gravestone just has a giant mustache.
Can you make it so that your name written out looks like a face, and then you just add the mustache?
Oh my god.
I'm trying to like make eyes with the E and I or something. Kenji. Wait. The E and G can be eyes, and then
My last name is a J. My
Oh,
name
it's
is
J.
a
Oh, shit.
Right.
Right.
It's literally right there.
My bad.
You half cap son of a bitch.
I'm like a quarter or something. I don't know what it is. It's like 30% or something.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I expect you to call it karate.
Oh, but I
Oh my god, that's fun.
I think I saw Mikey trying to pop in, but
Yeah, I saw.
Wait.
Yeah, he's been
is he back?
nowhere.
Mikey?
Oh, Mikey.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Mikey is back,
Yeah.
guys. All right.
We hear your voice. Where's it coming from? It's like the mannequin scene. Where's the voice coming from? Where's the voice?
Kind of
coming
sounds
from?
like a mannequin.
Behind
Blink
Jefferson
twice for
Carvey.
yes.
Yes. Hold on.
You just caught us finishing up who we want directing a Junji Ito story. And
my
we're
story?
down to me, I think. Yeah. And just to I guess like I'll start off with what stories I wanted, and
You gotta do it as a
coincidentally-
pun. You're gonna do it as a pun because I redeemed a.
I'm looking for a route to a pun. I'm looking for it. I think maybe I can find one when we get to the director. But right now I'm gonna start off with saying that Ren, you kind of got it. I picked either Ice Cream Bus or Whispering Woman, and I think I brought it down to Whispering Woman just for a recency bias and because I want this to be an ASMR horror movie. And my director is actually, if it were to ever happen, I hope I don't it's not gonna happen, but James Wan won me over his recent movies like Malignant.
Oh, okay.
Any Conjuring, honestly, I don't hate the Conjuring series. I just think that Conjuring 1 was the best. But yeah, I think he would do really great with Whispering Woman. Yeah, that's my pick.
Mike looks like he's about to.
Mikey, do that again. Do that again.
Oh. Gonna do some scary stories in the dark.
Let's see. I think that James Wan has a really good eye for the absurdity of horror. I think that he showed that like extremely well during Malignant, and I think that he can take the Whispering Woman and make this like outrageous storyline into something that's like both pretty freakish and pretty funny at the same time. And of course I picked an Asian director because it takes a James Wan to know a James Wan.
It takes one to know one.
Takes one to know one. Did I do good, Mikey? Did I redeem it?
I mean, you tried.
I tried.
Is I.
Okay, you did your best.
Actually,
Thank you.
I just
Thanks, guys.
realized
Thanks, guys.
who did Hereditary?
That was
Oh,
Ari Aster.
Ari Aster.
Okay,
Ari
Ari
Aster.
Aster. Okay, Ari Aster would also be really
Oh,
good.
shoot.
He would
Yeah.
also be really good to do the one that the one where the brother is missing for 5 years and then they find the tomb full of mummies and then like when they look up they're all
Yeah.
staring. He would have been really good
Good
to direct
idea.
that one.
Oh
Mhm.
fuck yeah, dude.
This
Okay.
is the director that did Nope and what's his name?
Jordan Peele?
Jordan Peele.
Yeah, I can see him. You can put him in to at least direct one of these.
Mikey picked. Yeah, didn't Mikey pick him as
Oh, did you?
Toontown. For
Okay.
Toontown.
Toontown? Yeah, Toontown. Okay.
You're good.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Wait.
you do a good Toontown, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ari Aster is a really good get if he ever wants to do one of these. Yeah. I was thinking of a Japanese director too, but all I can think of is like Takashi Miike and
Right.
Koji Shiraishi for something because Koji Shiraishi did the Karako versus Sayako movie, the Ring versus the Grudge movie, and I feel like he could do something freakish with what was that one? Ah, fuck, what was it? That one Junji Ito story that happened with. Oh no, I'm losing my train of thought. What was that story? What was that
Good
story?
books? No.
Nah, not the book one. It was the. Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. Here's a list. Okay, not Layers of Fear, Hanging Balloons, Hanging Balloons. I don't know why I forgot the name of Hanging Balloons, but yeah, I would. Oh, Koji Shiraishi like does a lot of great like freakish imagery on screen, especially when it's like just a couple seconds of it. But yeah, I could see him doing Hanging Balloons. Yeah, I think that's everything. Do we have any final thoughts on Junji Ito's Macabre, Tales of the Macabre, Netflix adaptation?
Oh, Stephanie says, can Mikey reiterate his picks again?
Yeah, absolutely can. Mikey, what were your picks?
Oh, so I picked like I said, Jordan Peele for Toontown was one. Because I think just the small town stories, like he does it well with like the last two movies he did. And then also I think I mentioned that Eli Roth for Layers of Fear.
Mm-hmm.
I think the idea of like a woman like ripping off her kid's skin is pretty Eli Roth. That's a pretty Eli Roth thing to do. So yeah.
Pretty grotesque, yeah.
Yeah.
The 99 hanging balloons go by.
Yeah, I overall this was so much fun. This series was pretty mid in general. Junji Ito Midniac, more like it, and
No one redeemed the pun thing. Why the fuck are we still going?
It's gonna go now.
it's always when I don't force it, something happens. I say something, and it's always when it's not available. Yeah, you know what? It was okay. I feel like if they needed more time to cook, it could have been something amazing. If they focused on maybe like if there was only time for a budget for 6 episodes, just do 6, don't do 12. Anyone else's final thoughts?
If it had been halved, I think it would have done much better, given them more time to, grow for those maybe 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Because there are short series that exist that have like hour-long episodes, and they do fine. They're solid stories.
Black Mirror.
This one felt like you had some good gems in there, and the rest were just all right.
Yeah.
Like obviously the material that it came from is better than what you ended up getting.
Yeah, that's fair to say. Yeah, I just feel like it's a lot like being handed like the keys to an awesome idea and you kind of just half-ass it. Kenji, Mikey?
I'm the same way. I wish that I wish you guys had just focused more on doing just animation, because like on the animation and just give us half the amount. I would rather had quality over quantity.
Yep.
Because I mean, like, and also a part of me, I mean, maybe it's a little hard because they would all be trying to mimic Junji Ito's art style, but I wish we could have seen like different animation studios doing their takes on the different Junji Ito stories, like how you have like like with the Star Wars Visions, how we had like a bunch of different studios. We also even with Batman's Gotham Knight, like we had multiple different
I remember that
studios. Like I mean, like
Mhm.
it's been done before, and it's really really awesome when they do it. So it's like,
God
let's
damn
see
it.
more
Now,
of it.
now I want that anthology series of different animation studios doing a different Junji Ito story.
I think that still goes down to their budget, unfortunately.
I know about
It would still, yeah, but
they
Unfortunately.
don't have Warner Brothers
No.
Disney money.
right. Kenji, any final thoughts?
I mean, I mean, if we get a season 2, I'll be surprised. I'll be very surprised if we do end up getting a season 2, just because I feel like not a lot of people are finishing the Netflix finishing the series all the way through.
Yeah.
That's one. But two, just also, but if we do get a new season, I'd rather they cut the amount of episodes down, and I'd rather they give us 6 decent length, really well animated episodes than 12 sometimes very abruptly ending stories. So like, yeah,
And
that's
even like
my
they're even like
opinion.
just story fragments too. Some of them are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
Yeah.
some of them it's like, oh, that's some of them you find out like, oh, that's just part 1 of like a 6-part story, like the freaking the kids who find the guy that burying their bodies in the front yard, the house that's like a portal and shit, like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
was
Don't
like
assume
second
that the
episode or
people who are
something, yeah.
watching, like, don't assume the people who are watching are like already know the material.
Yeah.
Right.
Just assume that everyone doesn't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like that would catch more people's attention.
Yeah.
I guess one more question I want to ask to all of you is: did this at least like encourage you or entice you to check out the mangas?
Well, I had never seen any of this stuff work before, so this definitely encouraged me to check some of the stuff out. And like
Ah.
everybody else said, I think as it was laid out with like all these episodes, if they just shortened it out and like if they next they give us like some more like stories that are just self-contained, like 1 or 2, it'd be better, I think, But yeah, I mean, it definitely makes me want to check it out, his stuff more.
Yeah, no, I agree. I only have like a couple books on my shelf right now, and I do want to like dive in and finish up, like binge read like at least the 1 or 2 that I have that still have been on my backlog, and then to
Mhm.
move on to something to like another like another story that he has. Yeah, they're in libraries. There's ways to read his manga. I'm not gonna say all the ways, if you know what I mean, but there's ways of reading his stuff. But I think for the final time, this concludes Basic Binge's review and discussion of Junji Ito Maniac, Japanese Tales of the Macabre. Thank you all again for tuning in. Be sure to join our Discord to keep the conversation going. Shout out to all my guests, Mikey, Ren, Kenji. Where can we all find you? Let's start off with Mikey.
You can find me in the dark because I have no power. Otherwise, GripC47 on all socials. So there you go.
Perfect. Ren?
You can find me on Insta and TikTok _GhostRat.
And Kenji.
You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at Kenjinator. You can also find me on Twitch at the Kenjinator. And on Sundays, I am part of a Dungeons and Dragons campaign with my father, who is the Dungeon Master. The channel is KD in LA, and we are the Gatewalker Saga. Check us out.
Gatewalker, nice. And I am your host, Jeffersaurus, and I'm Jeffersaurus everywhere online. Everywhere. You can listen to the show on Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever podcasts are sold. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel for Nom Talk, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch. all platforms are at Nom Talk Network. Tune in on Wednesday as Eric Ramirez leads the charge on the 1998 film Dark City. I've been your host, Jefferson, and have a nomorific day, and good night. Mikey, you are freakish.
And we go on, we